Tafuta hela mwanamke ajilete mwenyewe. Eh. People keep wondering, Kenyan women, they're so Kenyan women. Women, we are so beautiful. It's not a joke. I believe Kenyan women are some of the most beautiful women. Wait, my phone, my phone kind of like, oh shit. It needs stability, peace, love, and unity. Okay, alright. Okay, I wanna make some tea. I like my makeup today, and I noticed like it was really simple makeup, so this will be my real simple go-to routine when I'm in a hurry, because I really didn't have to do much. Not that I ever had to do much when it comes to makeup. A lot of you have told me in the past I'm a natural beauty. I doubt it, but I'll take it. No, I believe in makeup. Mwanamke ajilete mwenyewe. Eh. Hey love, I'm making tea. Saturday, love it. Make some tea and then we talk. I usually buy water. Yes, I'm in California. I buy drinking water. Right. If you think I'm going to trust tap water from anywhere in the world, I don't. Like take tap water right from the tap, and just take it. I rarely do that. I don't know why. I just don't know where this water is coming. I just don't know what water is coming. This water is coming from. And I think that makes my water bill low. Cause I mean I kind of just use my water bill to then just like flush the toilet, clean the house, and clean the dishes and clean my clothes, because I find it hard to drink tap water. I know it's probably safe, but it's most likely not. My house not like clean. I know some of you like have like all these YouTubers who have like spot clean houses, spotless houses. Mine is not, okay? I don't have somebody who comes to clean my house, which is probably something I'll start doing now, because okay, it costs like $50 or $60 to have somebody come clean your house. But I think I will have to start doing it because it's a problem. Like, it's a problem. You see, I have a problem. I have a problem with cleaning, clearly. I will have to start paying somebody. Hi, Meek. I just have to start paying somebody to help me out. Don't even look over there. It's dangerous. Who is E.T.? Or et, or however you say it. I don't know that. I don't know. I look like somebody. I want to know who. Now you got me curious. I look like somebody. You know, I could be a twin. There could be a twin somewhere. It is alien? Oh my God. Theo, you're banned. Theo, you're banned from this channel. An alien? Hi, Mitchell. Mitchko, Nolly. Hello, Belle. I'm a goddess. Thank you, love. Half Indian, 100% sub-Saharan Africa. Thank you, love. People say, yeah, I get compliments about my smile a lot and my eyes. I must be beautiful. Thank you, love. Hi, Chance. Happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving. Yeah, welcome to my channel. You're free to give me business ideas that could help this girl make some money. Give me some life advice. The family says you wish you woke up to me every morning. You don't wish for something you don't know. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. I am wearing makeup, and stop saying bad things about the people here in America. Everybody needs makeup. I don't believe in being natural. I'm not going to go into my cuddling prowess or lack of thereof. No, I'm not a pick-me. I'm not the kind of girl who shames other women and says, oh, they are not beautiful, blah, 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 blah. I am a natural beauty. I'm not a natural beauty. You know, yeah, I'm not a pick-me-sha at all. I wear makeup, you know, I'll probably, you know, I do girly things. The only things I will not do is I don't want to have a bad implant. I don't want to have fake boobs, you know, and I choose not to. I'm not shaming anybody who does it. For me, I just think I just don't want to do it. I don't think it's healthy. Me, I'm from Africa. Africa. Can you hear my accent? My tongue? if you know accents, you can tell people easily where they come from. For example, a lot of Africans, we do kind of have the same features. So you would not know if somebody, I would not know if somebody came from Kenya or from Nigeria unless I hear their accent. Hi, Antonio. Happy Saturday to you. What's going on with what business ideas can you give us so that we are not in survival mode? Somebody was telling me to invest in the stock market the other day. They thought it was a good idea. Hey, Johnny, you think I seem like a good woman? I can't guarantee you that I'm a good woman. It all depends on your definition of a good woman. I avoid taking flattery. Me, am I married or single? I'm single. I'm single. I'm happy single. I'm happy being single. But if I find a good guy who wants me not to be single, maybe that can change. Yeah. But he's got to be willing to pay all of my bills because I don't want a roommate. If I want a roommate, I could just get a girl to be my roommate. That one, Y chromosome. Hi, love. How's your day going? Happy Saturday to you too. Thanks for joining me as I try to clean my place. Because let me tell you, life is difficult when you have to do dishes. I think I need a dishwasher, but this old house that I live in, I don't even think it's designed to accommodate a dishwasher. I know, the Y chromosome. You thought you didn't know you were missing all this goodness? There's lots of beautiful girls out there. Oh my God. Cleaning your house after you've messed it up this much is not easy. Because sometimes you know, I went to the ER the other day. I went to the ER on last week? I went to the ER because I really get low energy, like seriously low energy. And I couldn't help but think maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm dying. Because I get chest pains on my left side, and I have a swollen lymph node, and I saw on YouTube that a lot of people who were having cancer, signs of cancer. The doctor kept ignoring them. So one guy said, go to the ER first, because the ER, they have to check stuff. When you go to the ER, and you're having pain, in your chest or anything, they'll have to check your heart. For me, because I have a brother who died of a heart condition, they checked my heart, everything was fine. They checked my platelets, everything was fine. I'm not feeling much better. I still having the pains, but they checked my platelets, and they're made in the lymph nodes. So if the lymph nodes are not working, your blood work should show that something is off. They did an X-ray. Um, they didn't see anything. But I know how my body feels. And I know my body's not feeling well. And that's where I still have a problem is, okay, I understand. Like, I understand that I don't have anything serious, but what is it that I have? What is it that I have? I mean, I'll be serious. It's a world healing. It's a light body shift. What's a light body shift? All will be well. Maybe, yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, I thought maybe I'm hoping that's all there is, honestly. Like, when they told me nothing is wrong, I felt relief. I felt relief because I was like, yeah, I'm glad nothing is wrong. But this is disgusting. That cat needs cleaning. I'm not a good cleaner. Please don't judge me. I'm kind of like one messy little girl that I don't even know what to do with myself. No, the problem is that electromagnetic waves. You think it's all electromagnetic waves? Maybe that's what it is. But the problem is I have had this lymph node swollen over here for 2 years now. For 2 years, and I started going to the doctor early this year. I ignored it last year. I ignored it completely because I was like, it's probably nothing. And even though one time I had a problem, like my friends could look at me. One time my friend looked at me and was like, they were like, no, you look terrible. You know when somebody tells you that you look terrible, like you don't look well? That's when I got alarmed. Like, even people are noticing how I'm feeling. Then I got alarmed. I had been feeling, when my friend talked to me, that was in July of 2024. I had been feeling off months before that time. I was feeling sick before July of 2024. And then I thought maybe it'll go away. So I didn't see a doctor then. And it got worse. So in January, I started to see my doctor. But my doctor, because it was the first time she was seeing me, she was like, it will go away. So she also started dismissing me with the pain that I was having on my neck and my chest and my back. So after like 2 more visits, that's when she was like, it hasn't gone away. And I was like, I told you when I came here that I've had it for a whole year. It hasn't disappeared. Now she started taking it seriously. That's when she started saying, okay, I'll order an ultrasound for you. I'll order, a skeletal scan. And that's whenever they realized I have scoliosis, like a slight scoliosis, and that's why my back wasn't moving and it was stiff. But I also had a swollen lymph node. That's whenever they discovered that. And so you have to advocate for yourself. So so the fifth world 22 says that we are in a in a huge world shift, and I don't want to it, uh, it to dismiss the pain. I understand completely. I have learned that this that that it is part of the body healing, but it's important to know this. I mean, yeah, but it's nice to get checked. It's probably something spiritual, but I don't know. But I checked it, and so far they're like, they check the blood work is fine. Um, you know, they check things like magnesium and stuff like that, and they're like everything is fine. But the thing is, I do a lot of infusions, like I do a lot of vitamin infusions. So I mean, just before they checked it, I had done an infusion like 2 days before, because I was having um, the premenstrual sickness. And when you have the premenstrual sickness, I usually like to do my vitamins so that I can recover quickly. Um, oops. Yeah, so they say my blood work was fine, but I'm like, I injected things into my bloodstream like 2 days before. So it's not an accurate blood work because I had done things to my blood. Um, so the the fifth one says you are sensitive to the electromagnetic waves. I don't know about them. I'll look up about those electromagnetic waves. Hi, my name is Gabriel. Hi, love Gabriel. Hi, gameless ant. Uh, so what's the shift about? Like, what's the shift? I mean, I don't want to dismiss it either. Look into adaptive healing, adaptive immunity. Yeah, I'm all about learning and getting to know things that I don't know, but I also want things to be proven, like kind of like scientific a little bit, because um because it's easy to confuse your mind like with ideas and pseudoscience and stuff like that. Mm. It's nice to have a cup of tea. Anyway, I say always advocate for yourself with these doctors. Always, when you go to the doctor, advocate for more tests. Somebody even told me once, you have to tell your doctor you are more sick than you actually are sometimes, so that they can do more tests. Like if you're feeling pain and it's bothering you and the pain is like a 5, tell your doctor is a 10. Because doctors don't really they just dismiss you. Especially if you look young and you look healthy, people will assume that you're automatically healthy. If I was looking at you and you're looking at me right now and I tell you, oh, I have a swollen lymph node, obviously you're assuming it's not a big deal. But if I tell you I've had it for 2 years and it's not going away, then you're like, oh shit, that's a long time to have something on your neck that's bugging you every day. It's bothersome. It affects your quality of life. See, when you tell the doctor that your pain is a 5, they don't understand that it's happening every day and it's affecting your quality of life. Or, sometimes pain makes you forget things. And for me, I know so much because of this pain that I have, and I still, like, I'm having it right now, and they've given me pain meds. I need to take the pain meds and the Maxo relaxers. Okay, let me see. Yes, yes, I don't want to dismiss the pain. I understand completely. I have learned that it is part of the body healing, but it's important to know this. Look into okay, we've seen that. And then you wrote the light body adaptation shift takes a couple of years. I'm just saying, I just want to share that, what I've learned. The shift is the electrical upper atmosphere is active again. Solar flares, volcanoes, healing, purification. Actually, volcanoes are good for the world. Like, it's nice to have volcanoes because when they bring all these fertile nutrients to the soil, and I believe the planet. Yeah, I do believe the planet, the Mother Earth, is alive, is a being that's conscious, like a holy being that's conscious. That one I know 100%. Like the same way the trees are conscious and we are alive, the earth is not like an object. The earth is alive. That one 100%. 100%. The sun, for me, I believe the sun is like the male and the earth is like the female, which is like an incubator, like a woman. Um, yeah. Yeah, I believe in that. And I believe, yeah, there's a reason why you will find earthquakes, and you will find you will find earthquakes, you will find what do you call it? Volcanoes, like thunderstorms, all this. I don't believe like these are just like events. I believe the earth is conscious. The Bible always says God working in forms of wind, thunder, lightning, fire. The Bible is very clear that God using the storm, to do things. God using the wind, God communicating, punishing people with water. You like that just shows that human beings have known that the earth is conscious for a long time. Yeah. Um, and then God being everywhere, in everything, everywhere. You know, Yeah, the earth is divine. This planet is divine, 100%. Um, I think the earth shapes us because we come from the earth, So it just makes natural sense that if you come somewhere, you come from, I'm taking tea. I don't take coffee. I want to stay young. Coffee ages you. Yeah, I do believe the earth is a model of we are the model of the earth. Like, I think that's kind of like the other way that I see it. We are the model of the earth because we come from the earth doesn't come from us. And we go back, our bodies, when we die, it goes back to the source, back to the earth. Everything, energy, everything just goes back to the source. So it would make sense that we kind of everything in this planet kind of looks alike. Like if you see like animals, they have eyes, and even if like chickens, they have eyes on their sides. Most of us have eyes on our heads, whether you're a fish, whether you're a fly, whether you're an insect, you know, you got eyes around your face. It means that we do have similar DNA at somewhere in the beginning. Like even the fly has a brainstem. So it means at some point we are all kind of, every creature is kind of the same. We have a nose, we have eyes, we use oxygen. We all come from this one divine place. What is fire and brimstone? Fire and brimstone. And God mining, what's that about? So tell me this thing. So for me, when people say as above, so below, I mean, I think it has a lot of spiritual implications. And, I'm a Christian and I understand things like when you say, like even the Lord's Prayer, when Jesus says, thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Heaven being your heart, like a place in your heart, a place in God's heart, a place in God's mind, a place in purity, in holiness, a place where there's love, joy, and kindness, like wishing all those things to be that are from above, the highest level of consciousness, to come to our hearts, down here below in this realm of the 3D universe. For me, that's kind of what I understand as a Christian, like as above, so below. So like lead us not to temptations and deliver us from evil. For thine is thy kingdom, the kingdom of love, joy, peace, happiness, healing, kindness. For that is the kingdom forever and ever. Amen. When we assert that as Christians, like words, I believe words are like witchcraft. You may say whatever, because that's why people pray, because words have energy, so you can become you can become like a good witch, or you can become a bad witch. Let's say like Jesus was a good one because he brought the kingdom of love, kindness, joy, fairness, all that. That is the kingdom he wanted. That's the kingdom he preached about. And that's the kingdom, like as a Christian, when I practice, that's the kingdom that I continue to perpetuate. So his energy, my energy, somebody else's energy, we all spread that energy across the world, across the planet. And that's how like things happen, but we are making them happen. So yes, the heart, that is what is happening. A reconnection of the heart, the mind, and the physical, and you feel it. Okay, now I kind of I'm starting to get what you mean when you say that, like that reconnection. So the heart does have one of the largest electromagnetic fields, if not the biggest electromagnetic field of all the body organs. it stretches. Like the heart has a strong electromagnetic field. Now, when you're in good mental health, there is that brain and heart coherence. And this is proven in science that the mind and the heart, they need to work together so that you can become a complete whole human being. But a lot of people, their heart and their mind are not working together. Um, and that's why their life is not going in one direction. They kind of feel like all this energy scattering. Their energy is not in harmony because their heart and the mind, they are not in coherence. That part I get, because that is mental health. That is part of the things that I teach at Post Traumatic Bliss. The heart and the mind have to work together. And I think a lot of people would benefit from reading about heart studies, like studies about the heart, which some of them are very mind-blowing. For example, Malcolm Gladwell, he did a study. He was told by somebody there was this town in the US where people did not die of heart diseases, but they never were eating better. They were not doing anything better than the average American. So he was like, how come these people, they don't die of heart disease and they don't do anything better than any other average American? And when he went to the city, he went to see the mayor and he wanted to find out why. But he found out that even if these people ate all the bad things that normal Americans did, the reason they were not dying of any heart diseases is because they had a sense of community. Everybody knew each other. They had community gatherings. They did things together. They were happy, doing other things like community, a sense of community love. Guess what? Those things are good for the heart. Those kind of positive emotions are so good and healing for the heart. So whatever the heck they were eating, and it was terrible, they were not really like taking good care of themselves. Some of them had missing teeth. Some of them, they were not like these. It's not like somewhere here in Newport where people are taking care of their teeth, their heart, they're running, taking care of their body. No, those people were not doing any of that shit. They were just normal, regular people, like who, you know, they just don't even really care, but they were not dying because they had that sense of community, that sense of belonging, that sense of oneness. But I don't think our planet is healing. I think our planet is actually, like, look at the politics. We are getting divided over and over and over and over. Like, that division is going to fuel conflict and animosity and a lot of heart problems, because the heart doesn't like hatred. The heart does not thrive in conflict. The heart thrives in love. The heart thrives, like, if you really don't want to have heart conditions, you stop arguments, you stop fighting people, you continue, you do things like volunteering because you want your heart to be healthy. Like, those are the things. You go to any cardiac surgeon, anybody who studied the heart, they will tell you the heart is a very, very special organ. It's not just a pump that's beating, just beating. It's not just a pump. The heart thrives on positive emotions, love, kindness, joy, empathy. If you want to have a healthy heart, your mind and your heart, they need to be in coherence. That is why they say things that are dangerous. Let's say for women who have casual sex, right? It's so dangerous for their heart to have things like casual sex for women, because now you're enlisting your whole nervous system into loving this person, being with this person in an intimate way, and then they are going to discard you like nothing, and then they're going to move on to the next victim. If you keep doing that to yourself over and over and over and over and over, you will not make yourself feel healthy and happy and loved. You will cause diseases to your heart. This is why the heart and the mind has to work together. Just because you see somebody is there handsome, they're shining, they have money, doesn't mean that you gotta have that person. You know, you have to make your mind think, what is good for my heart? Is that relationship healthy for my heart? You have to use that heart and brain connection to move on with your life, to make decisions that you need to make in your life. Okay, let me now look at your comments. Hello, beautiful Black Queen. Hi, Kevin. Nice to see you. Let me see what the fifth world 22 is saying. Yeah, we are being healed from all poisons and stuff on a molecular level right now. That one Y chromosome says, I do feel that nowadays people care for each other more than the past few years. I mean, that's nice that you feel that way. For me, I have been feeling it differently. And maybe that's why it's causing me distress and my heart problems. I have seen the way the people on the right and the left here in the US, they still continue to peddle racism at the center of their politics. Now, that is wicked. I feel that is wicked. And right now, the economic situation here in America for people who are unemployed, people losing their jobs, people, it's going to be dire because we have put in a system right now, the one that Donald Trump has put in right now, sponsored by the Heritage Foundation, because they think they can think for us. We cannot think for ourselves. They have put in a system that enables the rich to be more richer and the middle class to sink into the poverty line, so that they can control them and they can decide what material your kids read, what material education is going to be like. They are deciding how to control the rest of humanity. And for me, I read that agenda and I think that's a cruel agenda. I didn't see much of it there that was any good. I read the Project 2025. Now, if you didn't read the 2025, you probably think the world is headed to a right place. But if this agenda takes place, I can tell you this agenda is from the devil himself. It's going to be bad, not just for Black people, because a lot of people do assume that Black people are poor anyway. But what's going to be shaken into poverty is the middle class. Those majority of those people, they are white people. They are going to be sinking into poverty lines, just like the rest of us. It helps to have a middle class. But anyway, the middle class in the US has failed to advocate so that we can strengthen the middle class. So because they have failed at their job, now they are sinking into poverty lines, and we will not have a middle class. And you just go out there and study what happens when there is no middle class. Go out there and look at it. Or the middle class is so small that it's negligible. You go figure out what poverty does on a large scale. Violence, disease, everything. Like, that's the best way to plunge a society into chaos. Who benefits when the society is in chaos? The very rich. That's what the Project 2025 was about. Yeah, as a community, we do need to go back into those old ways. I don't know how we are going to do it. For example, personally, I live in a small town, and pretty much in California, most people move to California from other places. Maybe 1% or 5% of Californians were originally born here, or they have roots here for a long time, but most people move in here. So we don't, I don't, I've lived in the same place for more than 10 years. I can tell you, I've probably been to my neighbor's house once for the last 10 years. These neighbors that just moved here, I've never seen the insides of their house. They don't know how I live. I've never invited them here. Those are just my neighbors. Okay? If anything, I don't know my neighbors' names. I know these other ones, I know them their first names, and that's about it. I don't know their last names. I don't know anything about where their family comes from, whether it's out of this state. I know I don't see people visiting them. These other neighbors I see a few times, like they have visitors. That's just how we are. We are isolated, like 100, 1000% isolated. I have a few friends from, you know, that are also from Kenya that I go visit, that we do things with. But, you know, it's about that. You know, people just go to work and then they go home. I don't believe that's quality of life. I think we should have more sense of community. But again, are you willing to trust your neighbors? Are you willing to trust them and to have them around and everything that they bring? I'm not a very trusting person. Personally, I'm not a very trusting person. Both my parents were murdered by the time I was 6 years old. So I have trust issues. I'd rather live by myself than be around people that I can't really trust. So for me, even getting myself out there to meet people, to talk to people, is not something I want to do from my heart. I'd rather stay home and do my own thing. I'd rather have an online business and not talk to people on a regular basis. But I have a history of something very deep happening to me. That's why I'd rather have my cats and live a long life. You know, in my mind, people can be dangerous. I know that from my life experience. So I mean, so when you say we go back to community ties, there's also trauma in those relationships. This is what I'm saying. There's also trauma in those relationships, and perhaps that's why people are very suspicious, especially when they move to a new community, like let's say California, where everybody is moving from somewhere else to just go out there and trust other people. For me, it's trust. Trust is a huge thing. And then there is the racism aspect of it. I don't want to go to a place and meet people, and then instead of, you know, talking about things mature people my age should be talking about, like for me, I'm in the age where I just want to talk about business and how we can form lasting partnerships, make money, do stuff like that. So whenever I go to a place and they are not interested in what I want to, like that stage in my life where I am right now, I really don't I don't have time for it. You know what I mean? I don't have time for it. So yeah, we can go back into old communities' ways, and that's the only solution. It's the only solution. I'm just saying there are reasons why we have problems, why people are not going back to that community. Like there are reasons why people are having a hard time doing it, but ultimately that is the solution. That is the solution to our heart problems. But then I see that people do sense that they need a sense of community to stay together, and it's good for their heart. But instead of doing it in constructive ways, they also do it in ways that are damaging. For example, like let's say people just go out to just drink. That the only time they're having a sense of community is when they are poisoning their body with alcohol. That's another toxic aspect of our society. Yes, we need community. It's good for our heart. But why are people just doing it when it's like toxic things? Um, or or just people, like sexual practices. Like there are these people who do like things like polyamory, like group whatevers. I'm like, if that's the sense of community that people are getting into, then it's toxic. It's even more corrosive for the heart. So we need community. I'm just saying, you gotta be careful when you're choosing your community. It's good to be in a sense of community. Loneliness is very, very hard and painful. Like, I live by myself, but the reason I'm able to do that is because I have trained my mind. I have trained myself in mental health. So I keep myself active with healthy things. But if if you are not that kind of a type, then you need to figure out how to find friendships that are genuine, friendships that are meaningful. Because in life, you can create meaning with your life, or it can become completely meaningless. Mitch, if you want to be healthy, I would say the first thing, do not be lonely. Do not be lonely. If you want to be healthy, do not be lonely. Loneliness is the number one cause of stress. Stress is the leading cause of poor health. So if you think about, stress is the leading cause of death in the entire planet. It is stress. And if you don't understand the impact of what stress does, I say go to posttraumaticbliss.com, take my class, and you will understand stress in such a way that you are able to take control of your life. So stress is number one. Loneliness is number one. Get rid of that shit. Do not choose toxic friends. Save yourself time. Learn boundaries very quickly. If you want to be healthy, choose good friends. Learn how to say no to people. Learn to have low tolerance for BS. Low tolerance. A lot of people who are not able to make long-lasting good friendships is because they have a very high tolerance. They're too patient with bullshit. Have low tolerance. Be that person who gets quickly angered when somebody does something that you don't like. When somebody crosses your boundary, be that person who quickly snaps. Okay? If you can learn this one skill, people will just leave you alone. It's psychology 101. You need to give people negative feedback the moment they do something negative to you. People learn through behavior. So when you reward a bad behavior, people are likely to repeat it. So when you have low tolerance for BS and you're quickly angered, and I'm not saying like get mad, I'm saying quickly get calculated and angry and show discontent. Very quickly. Somebody touches you the wrong way, like, dude, keep your hands to yourself. Quickly. Immediately, that you feel that irritation, boom, explode. Like, dude, keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me. Can you not do that? Okay. You gotta learn these things. Like, can you not do that? Can you keep your hands to yourself? Don't talk to me like that. You really need to learn how to do such things. Like, when somebody takes money from you, are you really are you trying to take advantage of me? You want to learn to do those things quickly because you want to learn how to put boundaries, so that negative people, people who are out there toxic, they want to prey on you. They have to test you. They have to test your tolerance to BS. And if they know that they can get away, they continue adding stuff. They are very calculated. They are doing this on purpose. And you have to know that to protect yourself and your mind and your peace of mind, you need those boundaries. So that's why I say quickly learn to weed out negative people, because you don't need them anyway, by learning that quick tactic of just being super low tolerance to BS, calling it out quickly. Like, don't talk to me like that. Stuff like that. Like, are you kidding me? Learn it. I don't know where you're going to write it down. Write all those phrases that you need to use on a regular basis when people immediately cross your boundaries, and practice them. We only learn through repetition and practice. So if you're not good at it right now, BS doesn't matter. Can you practice it? Do that. Practice that. That one, I'm telling you, will be number one. You're going to eliminate a lot of heartbreaks and heartaches in your life, and your life is going to be beautiful. You have to build a wall to these things. You gotta build your peace of mind. Your peace of mind doesn't happen. It's strategic. It's something you strategize. So, okay, we've weeded out bad people. Now we can make good friendships, lasting friendships that are good for your heart. That's strategy number 2. So we're talking about the heart. We want good friendships because we know we need good friendships. We know loneliness is bad and it causes stress, which is the leading killer. So we have to eliminate people who keep us lonely, negative people who want to take advantage of us. Boom. You're the only one who can set those boundaries. Do not be nice. Do not be nice. Do not be nice. Nice people get taken advantage of by predators. People who are out there preying on people. You gotta be nice to the people who are deserving to be nice to. Not everybody. You can love people, you can forgive them, but they can stay away from your mental health if they are throwing you out of homeostasis, if they're upsetting your balance. That's all you need to know to throw people out of your life. I tell people, I look like I'm in my 20s. I am way past my 20s. But this is kept by peace of mind. This good health is kept by peace of mind. I mastered this. Let me tell you, I grew up without parents. Do you know how much anxiety I grew up with? I grew up with a lot of anxiety. And when you grow up without parents, you grow up in a survival mode and people take advantage of you. So when I tell you that it reaches a point in your life when you decide, I want health, I want peace of mind, and I'm going for it, is not something that just happens in your life. It's something you have to be strategic about. Very strategic about. So that's the number one thing I can tell you. Above eating well, above trying to eat healthy food, above anything, you have to select good friendships. Period. Because once you can do that, everything else falls in alignment. No, my parents, I don't know what, my parents didn't die a natural death, but I don't know what that is. RFI. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't, my parents wasn't, they weren't killed by militias or people. My parents were killed by people who were jealous of them. They were just killed by people who were jealous of them. They couldn't understand how somebody who is so beautiful can be very successful, just jealous people. So, yeah, number one, stay away from people who are jealous. Stay away from people who are jealous of you, whether it's your business, your family, you know, the things that you have. My parents were murdered by people who were jealous that they had beautiful children, that they had, you know, a happy, loving family, that they had things going on for them. You know, we were not even rich, but we were just hardworking, normal family. Some people just don't like to see that. Evil lives on this planet, you know. Um, but it is what it is. People will be jealous of you. People, you know, and you know, I didn't. For me, I've come to understand jealousy, and you know, before I just used to let people who are jealous win. Like I noticed that you're jealous, I would just like kind of like leave whatever. I'll leave my job if you're jealous. I just used to be that person who runs away because I knew what jealous people can do. So whenever I saw jealousy in people, for me, and part of the reason why I isolate myself is because I don't like I don't like people looking at me, and I don't like okay, no, like I just don't like, you can tell when somebody is looking at you and they're jealous, you know. um and and no, you can tell, like you can tell, like if you go outside, you're walking and somebody's talking to you, or even at work, you can tell when somebody is jealous. So for me, there are people who will invite me places and they will never see me in their whole life, because I am very aware. Like my nervous system, because I've been in survival mode for a long time, my nervous system is very aware. And you call it, it's hypersensitive. It's hypersensitivity of your nervous system is a sign of trauma, but it's also a gift because it means you can sense danger more quickly than other people. People be inviting me to places all the time, and I'm like, no, like I don't want to go. Like, you know, people be asking me all the time, are you a model? Are you a model? I'm not a model. You think I want to become a model after I have heard all those stories about models? I don't want to fucking be a model. Like, you know, I am very hypersensitive. I can tell when somebody invites me and I'm like, I don't want to go. I'm not going. Like, it's hard for me to get out of my house. I'm not traumatized to get out of my house. I can go anywhere I want. But to just go to other people's places, hyper vigilant. Um, I don't know. I'm just saying I have a heightened nervous system, an overactive nervous system that is is no, I'm not an empath. I just know how to, like I can sense things, you know? Like I can sense like somebody is lying. That's not being an empath. That is learning how to read people. That is learning. Yeah, exactly. That's, yeah, but there are people who are so nonchalant though. Like there are people who, you know, they get invited to a place by people and they're like, oh yeah, they invited me, they're happy. I'm like, do you go to everywhere you are invited? Like everywhere? Like people just invite you places and you just say yes, you know? You will invite me to your Bible study, I will not come. Like, you know, some people don't mean you well. Um, People don't mean, don't go everywhere you are invited, you know. Um, don't accept everything that you're given, even at work. You know, somebody saying, oh, I brought some food. Don't eat, you know. You don't have to eat everything that somebody has given you. They're not being nice. Some of them, they're just poisoning you with sugar and they know it. You know, you have to understand that behavior is very dangerous in human society. You know how most kids get tricked by a pedophile or somebody is because they bring in a puppy or candy or nice things. Even as adults, the people who are going to harm you, they don't come with the sign here that I am here to harm you. They come, they invite you to places, to a party. They invite you to somewhere. They make you feel special. When somebody is overly trying to make you special, to love you more than you love yourself, red flags should be going like, wee, wee, wee. Oh my God. Mining, you're saying that you believe everyone has an ulterior motive. Me, I believe like everybody has an ulterior motive, you know. Most of it is fueled by money, you know. So if you want to do some, especially somebody who is out there just giving like money to people, I'm like, what's next? Yeah, like, because you just gotta have understanding of human behavior. People don't do things that are not rewarding to them in the long run. People will abandon things that are not rewarding to them. So there is no reason somebody should be giving you money unless they think that they are going to get something from you. That's why you have a job, because your employer perceives that they're getting something from you, so they're paying you money so that you can do something for them. But for somebody to just come, invite you for a party, take you to a place where, you know, like they've invested, like you have to think about what are they getting in return? Why are they asking me to come to their event? What do they want? It's just normal things to ask. Like, people want to control. Control is another thing, 100%. Control. People want to control other people. I just don't understand. Like, that is something that we don't talk about a lot. The fact that people want control. They want to control you. They want to control your mind like a puppet. Like, there is that going on. There are people who just want to control you so that you can become sort of like a slave to them. People want that kind of a control over you. There are people who are looking for other people to control. I like the human brain because the human brain is so unpredictable. Like, you can try to control somebody, but people are so wild that you don't know what their next move is going to be. It's kind of like trying to control wild cats. People are like wild cats. When you want to control them, you never know what life is going to bring and how it's going to backfire ultimately. Hi, Mina. Nice to see you again, my love. Yeah, ultimately, if you do not control your own mind, you will become enslaved. Ultimately, if you don't know who you are, where you want to go, where you're from, what you want out of life, somebody else is going to control you. You can bet that 100%. If you have no agency over your life, somebody else has agency over your life. 100%. 1000%. I totally agree. 1000%. So what I used to make sure that my life, I am headed the right way, I really had to lean on to the wisdom that comes from God. You know, I was like, it's better God tell me what to do than people tell me what to do. It's better God tell me what is good for me than let other people decide how my life is going to be. Because remember how the Bible says that people who trust in other people, they are cursed. They are cursed. I believe that curse is in if you trust other people above the wisdom of God, you're cursed in the same way that they control you, they enslave you, they take away your ability to think for yourself. I believe that's how mind control happens. 1000%. Yeah. um I'm big. What you're saying here, God shows you through the feelings in your bones. I believe as human beings we have this thing, the nervous system. And it's the nervous system contains your brain, your spinal cord, and your peripheral nervous system. Now, these are senses that God has given you so that you can read the world around you, whether consciously or subconsciously. Your nervous system is always taking in information. You know how somebody can be in front of you, they're talking to you and they're smiling, and you go like, something is off about this person. Like everybody was talking about how Erica Clark, something was off about her. It's the funeral of her husband. She is crying, she is smiling, she is off. A lot of people, they can tell when something is off. Now that is your nervous system. God has given it instincts, very natural instincts, the way you're designed by God. God has given you, that's why you can say you feel it in your bones, is because your nervous system is so intuitive that it will read discrepancies. It will see, why are you smiling like this in a funeral? Why are you hugging other men in that way after your husband has died? Why are you comparing your husband to other people? Like, your nervous system, even if it's not going to tell you what's happening in the moment, it is going to read all these things that are not in harmony and why it's wrong. And then somebody else will mention it and you're like, that is what I thought was gone. I thought something was amiss here. Now I can kind of start putting two and two. Girland cooking up deliciousness. Hit the like button. Hamza, you're beautiful. Thanks, Hamza. You're also beautiful. Hamza says, I have beautiful eyes. Hamza is naturally attracted to me. Whoa. Alexa wants to marry me. And they miss me. And they're like, I miss you, babe. What country do you live in? I'm in the US. Hello, Fahad, Fatih. I like the pink high five. Rudy Jeffrey, hello, my love. Your first instinct is always correct. If your first instinct says run, run. Have you ever, there was this, okay, I'll tell you a story. There's this guy, he invited me, told me, I have this medical practice, come see it. We help people with Lyme disease and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, let me go there. Let me tell you, I went there and my first instinct was like, run. This place is not good. Just the energy of it, my nervous system picked it up, and I kind of dismissed it. But then I came to know this person. He was a complete narcissist, completely narcissistic. Who would upcharge me for even small things, upcharge me. And then after that, I started seeing that he was using his practice to lure in people, you know, and after that I started realizing, oh my God, there are people who will lure you into things, and your first instinct tells you run, like this is not a safe place. I'm telling you run, that is not a safe place. Your nervous system, the way God has designed it, has natural instincts. You will never come to a place in your life where you're loved and protected more, more than the nervous system in your body that God has given you. This truth, I will stand with it until I die. Nobody can love you better than your nervous system, the one that God gave you. Nobody, 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 nobody. This nervous system tells you when something is wrong. That's the job. It's the job of this system to protect you. So whenever it tells you something is wrong, listen. Listen. That's the only thing that God has given you to keep you safe. So when it screams at you, something is wrong, something's not okay, that's your bodyguard. That's your bodyguard telling you you're not safe here. Like you better leave. You better find something. You better get an excuse, get out of there, just fucking leave. Okay? Your nervous system is your bodyguard. Your best friend. Your natural instincts, God has given it to you as a gift. Trust it. Trust it. The Midwest was hit with a bunch of snow. Now we're going into another area. Yeah, we're talking about gut feelings, instincts, the nervous system. You know, that's people don't understand the power of the nervous system. If you understand the power of the nervous system, you understand your power. If you have no idea, again, this is why I teach these things. Go to posttraumaticbliss.com. I teach it from the perspective of trauma. But once you understand the nervous system, you will understand everybody on the planet. You will understand everybody on the planet because our base is the nervous system, our brain, our spinal cord, and our peripheral nervous system. If something is off with your nervous system, you're not going to live a long time. Have a great day, my love. Take care, yeah. I don't know how to say your name. NGD Mining. I'll call you just Mining. It's very hard to know how to say that name. Hamza, what are you talking about? Well, for me, I wake up every day and I think I'm the most beautiful thing that God created. I'm not, I have the right to think that way. If Hamza, you want to think about yourself as the most handsome thing that ever walked on this planet, go and tell yourself that. Wake up and believe it. I am all about being delusional when it comes to some things, especially when it comes to loving yourself. I'm all about being delusional. I will wake up, I will think of myself as the most beautiful woman that I have ever met, and if that makes me feel good, makes my heart feel happier, makes me want to bounce to bed, out of bed in the morning and go feel good, I will do that. Ho 4652. Ah, nice. I've actually had a dilemma. Maybe this is good. I have two choices. One, I stay in Sweden and finish studies here for free. Two, go to Spain, all expenses paid for, study there, and come back to work. Oh, wow. I mean, you guys, what do you think Yoni should do? He has two choices, right? He can stay in Sweden and finish studying there. Or two, he can go to Spain, all expenses paid for, and study there and come back to work in Sweden. I don't know, Sweden, Spain, um, you know, life is about experiences. You will have different experiences. As long as you're moving towards a steady, creating stability in your life, stability is the most important thing. You build from stability. But it's also nice, as you're building stability in life, to enjoy different things, to see different cultures, to see different things in life. I am also very open to that, because learning, there's more than one way to learn. Going to different places, you also learn. Building stability is something that you must do in your life. You have to create some sort of stability. So I don't know, both of them look good choices. It's your tough decision to make, my love. I cannot suggest anything for you. Hamza, let's not talk about my age. Walter, hi love, you're saying yes, you're right. Pierre Zemekdi, President, is what the prize of President Zemekdi. Hello, love. Yoni says, I had this opportunity in the summer, honestly, chickened out, got scared now. The same opportunity arised again. Maybe it's a sign. I don't know anymore. I mean, a lot of people, like, if you're afraid of something, ask yourself why you are afraid. If this is not something you have thought about well, you haven't planned out well, you're doing it on a whim, I would say no, because things happen when you haven't really thought about it and planned carefully about some things. I am spontaneous, but I know the world is a dangerous place. So safety first. If you feel safe, then go. If you don't feel safe, don't go. Safety is first. Always take risks, take calculated risks. Calculate those risks. You just don't, bad things happen to people who are just way too spontaneous without planning things out. They do. You just wake up and be like, oh, let me go to Thailand. Oh, let me go do this. Let me go do that. You don't know, you're not sure, because your nervous system is not sure where you're taking it. You haven't talked to yourself about this. You haven't thought through about this. And your nervous system will be like, I don't know about this move. We haven't planned about it. I don't feel safe about it. Now, do you feel safe? That's the first thing. Do you feel safe about that move? Because everything and all the fun is off the table if you're not safe. I'm not an engineer. Don't hire me. I don't, Hamza. Look for somebody else to make you money. Hamza, why do you assume everybody is looking to get hired? Don't you think we also have other things that we can do with our time? You think we're just here looking for a job from you? What's the deal? What's the deal? You think we are just looking for work from you? We are here begging you to give us work. Is that what you're thinking? Thanks. You're welcome. I'm glad you said thanks for my 2 cents. You know, because a lot of people don't appreciate. I'm all here every day giving out my 2 cents, and sometimes I feel like it's not appreciated. So thank you. I am happy that you said that. Thank you, love. Thank you, my love. Oh, you know, when you're not safe, everything is off the table. Everything is off the table. You know, if I'm not feeling safe at a place, anywhere, whatever opportunity, whatever that was, is off the table for me. You know, everything begins with safety. Everything begins with balance. Your nervous system at a place of balance, homeostasis. If anything is upsetting your balance and your safety, is putting you in survival mode. Survival mode is where you don't want to be in the first place. So it's off the table. It's easy to make a decision like that. There's a channel explorers. You want me? I don't know if I want you. I don't think so. I don't even know you that much. Like, no. Okay. ATM team. Hello. Yun is like, no worries. If anyone takes time out of their day to answer my questions and all problems, I appreciate every answer. Ignore the crips. Good luck with everything. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, my love. Thank you so much for popping here. Love you. See you another day. Philip Morgan, love your hair. Hamza, I like safety too, but sometimes some danger. Hamza, you're that type. You're that type. Hamza, you're that type. Become a better person. Go out there, become a better person. Stop being a creep on the internet. Go have a spiritual life and take care of that kind of poverty. There's a channel, it's like, you're beautiful. Philip Morgan, Philip, Sacramento, California. Love to hear from you. I'm from Africa. Marry a villager. I have no problem marrying a villager. Where is the village? I don't know. I am kind of like one of those difficult people. I don't think marriage is for me. You know, I don't have a problem with marriage, right? It's just that, you know, there are so many creepy people out there that I don't want to get married to a creep, you know. Yeah. Don't give me your number. I will not use it. I will not use it. Thank you, though. I just don't take numbers from people from the internet. I am here to connect with people who share the same passions about mental health like I do. I am here to inspire somebody who might be lost about their mental health. I am not here as a dating opportunity at all. I am also here to promote my courses on mental health on posttraumaticbliss.com because I believe it's a worthwhile experience for somebody. It will save somebody time and it will save somebody money, somebody who wants to take their life to the next level. I don't, I am not, Yoni, I know you feel like, yeah, bye Hamza, I'm glad you left. You see what you do, Yoni, when you make your boundaries clear, the weirdos will leave. They will go find somebody else's channel. When they figure out that their narcissistic energy is not being fed here, like nobody is feeding that energy, they leave, you know. uh, I mean, like people like this desert channel explorer, he's looking for people to exploit for money. I'm not sending him money, I'm not giving him my number, you know. Like these are people, like there are people like this on the internet. They're just predators looking for somebody to prey on. They're not hard to find. It's not, it's not difficult. Yeah, you're looking for somebody to exploit for money. Why would you assume that I have more money than you? You don't know me. Why would you assume that I have more money than you, that I have money to give away for free, just like that? Like, why would you assume that? uh you know I'm here to help people with good mental health, you know. So somebody has to do the job, Yoni. And I cannot allow losers to stop me from doing what I wanted and purposed to do. That's not what I tell people to do in their life. I inspire people to go and do things in their life. Um, yeah. So, yeah. So if Hamza and Desert Channel Explorers, two people looking to exploit other people, meet and they go exploit each other, you go and exploit each other somewhere in your dark universe, that's your problem. I was just trying to bring the light here and I'll continue spreading the light. This is not what narcissistic people want to hear. People who are out there preying on other people. It's a dark internet. It's a dark wave. That's why we are trying to bring light into this darkness, because light shines into darkness. Darkness does not shine into light. Never will that happen. And in this planet, light, the kingdom of light has already won. That's a prophecy, because light brings things into light. Yeah, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me go. My other phone, the alarm is ringing. Let me go bring it. Yeah. I didn't realize that my phone, it's 9 a.m. It's still very early. I thought it was much later than this because I've been live for like 90 minutes. Um, well, thanks, Yoni. Thanks for popping here. As I continue building my channel and my base. This is life. You gotta look for something positive to do in life. That's just what I'm doing on my free time, building something positive, you know, and spreading mental health, because somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. we have to do it fearlessly. You know, we create the world that we want to see. That's just what I'm doing, creating the world that I want to see. So I look good and lovely. Thank you, my love. I want to put my hair in a ponytail. Hi, Jeff. Hi, my love. Thank you so much. I'm beautiful. Thank you, love. You always take care of yourself. Always take care of yourself, because the more you take care of yourself, the more beautiful you become. Just over time, you keep investing in yourself, your skincare routine, your nails, your hair, your makeup routine. You know, it gets better and better. It just gets better and better over time. Like, it's just an easy thing to do. Why I give you my phone? I'm not, listen, I don't, there's a channel Explorers. This kind of a guy is looking for people to fund him, people to give him free stuff, people to just give him money. You know, I'm not that kind of a person. I'm not delusional. I don't give people money. I don't give people money, okay? Get that out of your head. I'm not gonna give you my number, and I'm not gonna give you money, okay? Go, yeah. Never ever in your life give people like this money. Like, people, you know, let people work. If people are used to just going out there asking for money and then they are given, they will never get a job. They will never look for money for themselves. They'll never do anything productive, because, you know, they can always steal from people, get money from people without effort. Why would you exploit my energy like that? You think I don't love myself? You think I don't have use for my own money? You think that all I have is to go work for myself and then give you money? Huh? 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 Do I look like I'm your mama? Do I look like I'm your mama? Hmm? Do I look like I am mom to you, made of money? Huh? Who do you think I am? Bill Gates? Jeff Bezos? That I just give you my number and then give you money? Man give women money. Money never flows from a woman to a man. Money never takes that direction, ever. It's like the river flowing backwards. It doesn't flow like that. Money never flows from a woman to a man. That would be the wrong way. Ever. Never. Never. You know? Unless she's your boss and she hired you to do a job. You know, when I was in Kenya, I hired this guy to do a job for me and I paid him. But now he keeps kind of like blowing my phone. I never ever pick up his phone because you're not doing a job for me right now. I don't give men money. Men go to work for money so that they can take care of women. Me, do I look like a sugar mama? Please. Please. Hamza, you have met me on the internet, and that's only way you're ever gonna meet me. We never ever gonna meet. Ever. Ever. I know some of you come to the internet and then you become delusional. You come to the internet, somebody's live, you become delusional. You start asking all these inappropriate questions like send me money, send me your phone number, like Jeff is asking when I will have kids. They will be beautiful. I am not married. I cannot have kids out of a relationship where I know they'll have a father. How many men do you know that are faithful? They have money, they can pay all my bills, and they are loving people. They are kind, generous, open-minded, well-educated. I'd be happy to choose from them. I just don't have something to choose from. So if that doesn't happen, I will not have kids with anybody. I will die with these beautiful genes. They will not be passed on to anybody. I will be the last of them. Okay, this will be it. You had better enjoy this last copy because if I don't find a decent man, if there are not decent men out there, this will be it. Okay. Hamza is saying, I don't want to blow my own horn, but well, you know, then you can find a beautiful woman somewhere else. There are so many of us out there on this universe. You shouldn't have a problem finding another woman in the same level of beauty I am and marry her wherever you are. There are so many beautiful women wherever you are. Okay, Belly, you're on the wrong channel. We don't like trolls here. Something, find something mature to say, Olive, please. Um, I mean, I'm saying same level of beauty. I mean, yeah, if you think I'm beautiful, you can, and you want to marry somebody just as beautiful, look around. If you're a good man, you should not have a problem finding that. What are you talking about? Belly, if you continue bringing on this disgusting conversation, let me tell you what I'll do. I'll just remove it. Until you figure out how to talk to me on this channel, we don't got nothing to talk about. I like people here on my channel that are sweet and nice, that are funny, that say something that is not misogynistic, because I'm a feminist, okay? You get the vibe of this channel. I am also into mental health, so you had better say something that's mentally healthy, like tell me to eat veggies or eat the rainbow, you know, something. Otherwise your comments will be taken off, because I moderate this channel. I decide who pisses me off and who I don't listen to. Google what a feminist is, and then understand that I'm the worst kind. The worst. The very worst kind. That's who I am. Google what a feminist is. Just go. 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 Okay? All right? And just know that if you're one of those red pill content men who believe in red pill content, that I'm your worst nightmare. Your worst nightmare. Okay? Just know that. I'll be your worst nightmare. If you're like one of those red pilled content men, I am the kind of feminist that you don't want to mess with. Not want to mess with. Oh, he's big grade 5919511. Well, thanks for coming to my channel. Love to see your comments. You're telling me that my eyes, these eyes right here, these eyes right here tell you that I'm a lost soul, and you will pray for me. Thanks for praying. I pray for myself too. Thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Your perception tells you I need a man. I need God. I need money. I need oxygen. I need food. I have not had a man the last 10 years and have survived. That tells me it's not a basic need. Okay? Something tells me it's not a basic need, because I eat, I breathe, I go to work, I come back, I sleep. I am well fed, I am well clothed. And you still think like I need a man, like I need air? If I didn't have air for 4 minutes, I'd die. That's how I need air. If I didn't have water, I'd die in 3 days. Okay? I'm living a long life and I have no man. I am living. We all die alone. So don't come here try to shut me up with that thing like, oh, you're gonna die alone with your cats. Everybody dies alone. Unless you have a twin death plan, somewhere everybody dies alone. Ooh, so I'm supposed to be scared that I'm gonna die alone with my cats? You need a man. I need God. I need water. I need oxygen. I need money. That's about my needs. Okay? Those are just about my needs. You got it? You got it? Who else? Okay, so I'll pray for you. I'm not threatening nobody. Hey, friend, where you from? Fatima Ali, nice to see you again, my love. I'm from Africa. You know that, my love. You're Fatima. You know. Okay, Hamza, you're not a nightmare. You're an nightmare. What is that? B grade 511. I have psycho eyes. Thanks, my love. Some people have called them beautiful. Okay. You don't need money. It's worthless. Money can't buy what you need, lady. I need money. I know that. Money is the most powerful tool on this planet. Daniel's sister used to live Japantown Fillmore District. What are you talking about? I'm not getting you. Sister Mzungu Naticho, whatever, doesn't mean you're not missing out of life. No offense. Uh, Be great. Alone, not making memories. I'm making memories. What makes you think I'm not making memories? What do you think this channel is for? This channel is going to outlive all those whatever you're doing out there. This channel that I'm creating right here is going to be here in 2075, okay? It's still gonna be here on this fucking internet. What are you talking about that I'm not making memories? I'll be seeing myself in my youth, what I used to do. What do you think I'm doing right now? Oh, oh, alone not making memories. So, be great. 511. That's how you think. Expand your thinking. Expand your thinking. I don't need validation from you. I self-validate myself. I tell myself every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better every day. I don't need your constant attention. I don't need your constant validation. I've been doing this for a long time, you know? I don't know San Francisco. I don't know Fillmore District. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, what happens there? You know what? You know what? Call it delusion, but you're calling it delusion because I am in control of my own thinking, and you are angry that you cannot control my thinking because I am in the driver's seat of my thinking, and that makes you want to piss your pants. I get it. I get it all the time. Men don't like to see a woman who is in control of her thinking because what else can you do? Call it delusion. Because at the point that you cannot do anything about how I think about myself, how I view the world, because I told you I'm the feminist that you don't even wanna imagine exist because I think for myself. You know, I decide my life for myself. I'm in the full control driver's seat. And the only way I'd give you attention and time is when I see that your way of thinking is in full alignment with mine. Otherwise, I don't have time for you either. That is what is the problem. That is what is eating you alive. Let me tell you, it's going to eat you like a cancer because women like me, we've already made our bed and we are laying in it. I made my bed, I'm laying in it. I understand choices and I made my choices and I am happy with the consequences that I have right now with my life, okay? I wake up, I sleep well, I look young, I am happy, you know? I have God in my life. I have God in my life. I have God in my life, okay? I don't need a man. I need God. I need money. I need air. I need water. I need food. And I have friends. And you have a problem with that. You have a problem with that because unless you are out there controlling a woman, you don't feel about life. You don't feel good about life because some of you people, it's all about wanting to control somebody. And I told you in the beginning, I'm the worst kind of feminist you will ever find. Because I know that I don't need people like you in my life. I don't. I don't. I already told you, I don't need people like you in my life whatsoever. Ever. You mean nothing to me. You know, you're not helping, you're not helping anything. So the reality is, you know, like you're in my channel. The only reason that you're here is because I'm not blocking your comments, but you can go and choose to be somewhere else, and I wouldn't care. Um, yeah, but the way that I'm living my life, the decisions that I'm making about my life, you have no say about them, because somebody like me has already decided. I don't listen to you. I listen to the voice of God, and that's it. I don't listen to people like you. I've already decided the kind of wisdom I get and where I get it from, and you're not the sounding board about how my life, I live my life at all. You can put your opinions here, and I don't care. I don't even know what you're talking about right now. If you want to say something, put full sentences that make sense. So anyway, let me move to other topics. Let me move to topics, other than this nonsense, because I like I like things that go. I like things that actually go somewhere, like lead somewhere, like it's an event that leads somewhere. So let's see. Okay, so we were talking about money and businesses. So feel free to write down what kind of businesses that you like. And you know what? The only thing I don't like is you don't come to my channel and call me names. You can be like the BG grade 5111. He is talking about something. He is not calling me names. He is not saying things, that are untrue. No, I'm saying you're not doing it. You're bringing in something that we can talk about. Something you're bringing in a debate, which is something I enjoy doing, that I like. But the other guy that I blocked, he uh he was he was he was he was yeah, he was saying stuff like, I have, maybe my eyes are kind of crazy, but don't call me crazy eyes. Like, don't call me out of my name. Okay, don't call me names. Just don't do that. So that's the thing. Bringing a debate. Let's debate. I like it. I like somebody to have their opinion. I may not agree with them. And I said, I may not agree with them. I know I'm a feminist. So if you're like a red pill man, I know that our paths are never going to cross. I made that abundantly clear because I know who I am, right? But somebody like at Fritz 8788, you come here, you call people weird, you don't have a point to back that up. Just kind of like this immature way of talking, and that's how I block you, because come up with a topic that's debatable, like B grade 5111, okay? I may not agree with him 100%, but you know what? I still respect his position. We can disagree. I'm not calling him names. We can disagree, but I respect that he has an opinion and a way of looking at life. I don't look at life the way he looks at life. Everybody has their own perceptions. He is using a perception that works for him to maximize his own way of getting what he wants in life, the same way I'm doing. um, I understand that human nature. I understand that part of human nature. But I'm not going to take their position because I know it's exploitative. I'm not ever gonna do that. Um, yeah, crazy. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. You know what? I've tried to kind of like block him and remove him, but he's kind of like a parasite that you can't. It'll still come back. Oh my god. Can you? Yeah, just behave. Just behave. Um, Chris Bauer, how are you? Um, Krebs says fake hair. Thank you. And then who else? System Zungutek. If you hide him, he can comment and doesn't know that nobody can see him. Oh, oh. Okay. Let's try that. Chris Bowers, love, love, love. Try not to like try to comment in an educated way. So I was reading this book. It's called Nonviolent Communication, and it's written by Marshall Rosenberg. It's called Nonviolent Communication. Um, and that nonviolent communication is pretty much about, you know, you don't label people, you talk about the behavior, not the people. Say for example, you don't call somebody weirdo because or label them. Say the behavior that makes you think that they are weird. For example, let's say you have somebody who never ever pays attention to you. Like, okay, there was this one principal, and he would just continue talking to the people in the parade. People give him opinions, he would never listen to them, and it was like that, blah 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 blah. And the people would say things like, he talks a lot. But telling somebody that they talk a lot is not really saying what they are doing. It's kind of like, sometimes it's like you like telling them, like, whenever we are talking, you interrupt and you do not listen to what we have said, and you just continue talking for another 3 hours. That is non-violent. That is not a violent way of communicating, because you're talking about the behavior, not name calling. And I think it's time that when we are even in social media and talking, it's good to have a decent conversation, like about something, instead of using violent communication. uh, so and then we're gonna see, um Um, I'm African. If you know my accent, I'm African. You can call me Kanini. So anyway, that whole thing about nonviolent communication got me, and it helps me to try to improve my way of communicating, and especially be assertive about how I'm feeling, what I want from life, what I expect from people. Um, like stuff like that. I like, I do like to, what do you know? Yeah, I am into, you can call it self-help, you can call it like trying to improve my life. People call it self-help, but for me, I always believe any kind of education is self-help. Whether you're learning how to cook, that is self-help. Whether you're learning how to do makeup, hair, that is self-help. Whether you're learning how to think, how to communicate, whether you're learning, you know, how to start a business. I call all this self-help. Everything is self-help. So I do like to learn how to communicate. Like, and the only way um, you can learn how to communicate is by practicing it, being with people, learning to communicate, learning to debate ideas. And when, and so Marshall Rosenberg was saying, if you want to learn how to communicate and debate ideas, you have to refrain from name calling, because the moment I call you out of your name and I don't show you respect, then then you don't, why would you listen to me? Why would we have a conversation? Chris Bauer says, good. You seem like you have a good person, good vibes. Thanks, love. You know, I might have facial hair. I don't shave my facial hair. I put makeup, but I don't shave. So if you think I have facial hair, well. Hi, love. Habari mzuri sana. Yeah, I know Kiswahili. I use English on my channel because most people understand English. Not that I don't want to use Kiswahili, it's just that I want to use a language that most people understand. Do I hate men? No, I don't hate men. Why would I hate men? I don't hate anybody. Okay? I don't hate anybody. You know, hate is such a huge thing. Like, I'm a spiritual person. I'm a feminist, but I don't hate men. I am very spiritual. I am all about defending the sacred femininity, because there are a lot of men who just think that their job is to put women down. So on that account, I am a feminist, okay? On that account, I defend the dignity of women everywhere. So a lot of people have a problem with the feminist label. I don't have a problem with saying I'm a feminist. So let's get it that I am a feminist, and, you know, so that there is no confusion. Like, there is no confusion. I stand up for women's rights every day. I stand up for the rights of men too, and I stand up for the rights of children too. So, and animals too, and also the forests and plants. I stand up for all those rights. So I don't hate men, you know, I don't want people abusing men. I also stand up for the rights of the boy child, because I think a lot of men are abused emotionally from when they are very young, when they're told not to cry, when they're told to endure abuse and not say a word. I am against all that stuff. I am 100% against abuse of men and boys. 100%. What I do not want is all these men who have been abused in the past, instead of going and healing themselves, they bring all that toxicity to women. I'm not gonna deal with that. You go heal yourself, go heal your life, go heal your heart, your emotions, everything that has happened to you and you've been hurt. Go find healing, go find emotional healing, but don't bring your toxic masculinity to me, because I'm not here to take it. I'm not here to spoon feed a boy into a man. I don't do that work. I don't do that work. And I tell women not to do it. Because once men realize that they have to be better people to be around women, they will go around and change and become better people. They don't have an incentive to change if women don't force them to change. I talk too much. I know, love. Well, you assume I hate men because you're delusional. Okay, I'm kidding. You're not delusional. I mean, I understand that a lot of men, they hear the way feminists like me talk and they assume that we hate them. I do not hate men. I do not have an obsession where I wake up every day and I obsess about how I hate men, how I want, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to hate anybody. There are things I don't like about men. There are things I don't like about women. What I particularly don't like about men is they don't want to change their ways, and they think that we have to adjust to their incompetence or their unwillingness to change. Like, I don't put up with it. I will not put up with it. That's why I tell men, like, I'm the kind of the worst feminist, because I will not put up with you. I would rather die. We all die alone, but I would rather live this long life alone without a man than adjust myself to somebody who is willing to do the bare minimum. I'm not gonna do that. If I want a roommate, I will get a female roommate, and then I can pour my energy and my time and my money into my friendships with other females that take time to understand me and adjust also to some of the things that I like, and I adjust some of the things that I like. But you want to go there and live with your I'm a man image, I'm a man. Like, I don't care. You can go live with that I'm a man by yourself. Like, I don't adjust myself to men. The way, like, women have been trained to adjust themselves to men, I don't do that. Sister Mzungu Teknatecho says, I believe there is toxic masculinity. But I also think that the more extreme feminists attack good, strong men, calling them toxic. I don't know. You have to give me an example so that I can understand what you're saying. Like, give me an example, because I mean, maybe that could happen. That could happen. But I think most of the feminists are there to defend women who are vulnerable. Most feminists, they defend women against young girls getting married at a young age, getting impregnated at a very young age, getting married off to old people. Most feminists, they defend the right of women to vote. Most feminists would defend the right of women to be in charge of their body, so that their health is between them and their doctor, especially when it comes to reproductive rights. Most feminine, they acknowledge that a woman has a brain and she can think, and she has to be empowered to make her own decisions. A lot of masculinity, they don't even perceive women as people with a brain. Most men, they don't think you have a brain. They don't respect your ability to think. Okay? That is when I am a feminist, you know, and I tell them, you know what? I'm not here to kiss your ass for a rose, right? I'm not here to kiss your ass for a rose. I don't want that ring. You can keep that ring and take it to your grandmother if you really need to give a woman a ring so bad. I don't need it. I do not need it. What I need is if you're coming near me, you start with respect. You start with respect, acknowledging that I'm a woman first, and I have a brain. Okay? And everything that we are going to discuss is going to come from a position of respect. You don't come here to intimidate me. You don't come here to talk down on me. You don't come here to think that you're a better human person than me, or you have some sort of hierarchy above me. I don't accept that. I don't. I do not. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you say you agree that women need to be protected and never abused, but I also think in a marriage, a man should have the final say in decisions. I don't believe a man should have final say in a decision, especially if he is not making the right decision. If it's not even, what if he's stupid? What if his final decision is, I want to go and gamble all of our money, all of our assets? You're going to allow him to do that? Yeah, what if that's his final decision? I'm going to be a gambler and I'm going to make all the money that we worked hard. Because I'm a man, I am going to do that. Are you going to allow him to do that? Are you going to allow him to do that? What if you needed surgery and he said, I'm the man, I'm the final decision, and nobody's going to have surgeries in this house because I'm the man? And you need surgery, or your child needs surgery to get better. You're going to allow them to make that decision for you. Like you don't have a head, like you don't have a brain, like God didn't gift you with this wonderful thing called a human female brain that is intuitive. You're going to not acknowledge yourself and your ability to think. Like that's, for me, women like you are the problem. Yeah. I already have a place. Trust me. I already have a place, so I don't know what other place you think I deserve to be in. I already have a place. Yeah, exactly. Thinking is the problem. And a lot of people do use their ego, especially men, they use their ego, and ego is just emotions. That's the reptilian brain just, just going. They intimidate women that because they are stronger, they intimidate women with violence. Okay? That blah, 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 blah. You will not intimidate me with violence at all. I will speak up my mind. Then you can go cry to your mama. I don't care. And you're not going to touch me. You're not going to do nothing to me. That is my position. I will make my decisions. And if my decisions like do not fit you, you can go find another woman who will allow you to do whatever. Like she has no brain. That's why I say I'm the kind of like the worst kind of feminist for any kind of a man. If you don't respect me and my thinking, we cannot work together. We will be like oil and water. Like we cannot. Yeah, respect goes both ways. Exactly. Respect. I understand that respect is a two-way street. Okay? I understand that respect is a two-way street. That is why if a man comes to me with the thinking that respect is just a one-way highway, his way, or the highway, I will tell him to take the highway. Okay? If a man comes to me and says, like, yeah, if a man doesn't understand respect is a two-way street, he thinks it's his way or the highway, he is taking the highway, or I'm taking the highway. But that's how it's gonna end. That's just how it's gonna end. Uh, I am lovely, that is why I'm single. I get it. Yes. And I would rather be single. Like I enjoy my life. I do the things that I want. And a lot of my girlfriends, they actually envy my life. I have my girlfriends, they envy my life. They I'm telling you, they envy my life. And because of my ability to follow my own path, they love it. That is why, unless you're coming to my life to add that to that ability of me to follow my own path, we cannot mix. We cannot mix at all. Do you know how many people I reject on a regular basis? Just reject advances. I tell them, don't ever call me again. Don't ever talk to me again. I think it is a partner's job to keep. It is. I 100% agree. It is a partner's job to keep one in line. People in partnerships, whether in business, whether in friendships, whether they are roommates, they keep each other in check. It is their job to keep each other in check. I get you can and you can do it, and there are two ways to do that. You can do that in an abusive way, and you can do that in a lovely way. You can check somebody in a loving way and in a bad way. The same way, there are good parents they nurture kids in a loving way, and then there are parents who abuse each other. Okay, what this red pill content is about, it is about like what feminists don't want. Feminists just stand up for toxic masculinity. That's just what they are doing. And when people feel, when you check people, when you tell people like, hey, you cannot abuse me anymore, you cannot do this and this and this anymore, people have a problem with that. That's why a lot of men have problems with feminists, because feminists are like, no, you're not gonna do that to me. That's how you are raised, to be abusive to women. And feminists are like, no, you're not gonna do it. You understand that I'm not gonna allow you to do that. They have a problem with that. They have a problem with you telling them you cannot abuse me. You're going to have to look for somebody else to abuse. They have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with telling a man, this is where I draw the line, and I'm done with you. I've never had a problem with that. Um, Cameron Brown says, I'm cutie for a blackie. That's a racist thing to say. That you're telling me that you don't think black people are beautiful, and that, for being black, that is that somehow is that a comment? I don't know. I'm not flattered by your comment. I think black women are the most beautiful women, and if that's not your norm, if that's not how you see things on a regular basis, too sad for you. Sad for you. But I only think that people like you're just jealous of black women. You are just jealous of black women. Black women are the most diverse group of people, and they are the most beautiful part of humanity. Beautiful. I am not saying that because I'm a black woman. Look at black women. Black women. Okay? Black women. Beautiful. Beautiful. We come in all shades. Beautiful. Beautiful. I don't even make the list of top 10 beautiful women. So for you to say that I'm cute for a blackie, look at those. Look at all that. Look. Okay? Look. I don't even need to go far, right? Beautiful black women everywhere. Okay? Beautiful. 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 Most beautiful people on the planet is a black woman. I mean, are you waking up to this reality? Are you waking up to the tea? Are you? Some of you have been conditioned by social media. You don't even see beauty. You only see what the boring news that you see, the boring social media you're consuming. You don't even see what's right there in your face. You're saying, I'm cute for a blackie. I've never seen an ugly black woman in my life. I can promise you that. Hi, Rajesh. Like to see you. You're beautiful. Chris, at least you try not to communicate. That's how you get better. Thank you for the compliment, because you only get better as you try. You look like AI video. Oh my God. Thanks, love. How old are you? Let's not talk about my age. Okay, let me give you another example. If a man is not gambling or hateful and puts you and your children's needs above you, will lead and take care of you, will I let him lead? Of course, I'll let him lead. If he's doing the right things, if he's doing what he's supposed to do, why would I question a man who is doing what he's supposed to do? You know, why? I don't I don't have time. It's like I don't question my boss, because you know what? My boss runs the business. He does things that he's supposed to do and he pays my check. I don't have time to argue with my boss. I love my boss because he takes care of business, he takes care of things. I don't have to worry, you know, everything's done in good. I expect things that he's doing. He's reliable, he communicates. God damn. I like my boss. I like the fact that my boss does his job so well that I don't have to worry about so many things, you know. Imagine I only have to worry about the job that I do in HR, and then he worries about, you know, he hires other people to do accounting, you know, other people to do their jobs, talk to customers. He hires other people to do so many other things, right? So I concentrate on my job, and I don't have to worry about all these other things that my boss is doing. I am grateful for my boss. I love my boss. I love this situation. It's really working so well. Why would I have a problem with a man doing his job? You think I want to do a man's job? You know, why would I have a problem with a man who is doing his job at loving a woman the way he's supposed to love a woman? Why would I have a problem with a man doing his job? He's supposed to love a woman. He's supposed to love and provide for his kids. He's supposed to be kind, nice, loving. The first commandment a man is given by God is to love and cherish a woman. Why would I have a problem with a man who loves and cherishes a woman? Of course, I have a big problem with all these men trying to exploit women. I have a big problem. I have a big problem. That's why I'm a feminist, because they are not doing their job. They are not doing their job. That's why I have a problem. That's why I have a problem, boo. Am I Aboriginal? Yes, I am Aboriginal. How did you guess that? You know, I am Aboriginal. This one thing that I am very sure, because when I look at those, like the Aboriginal people, I see like they have some of my features. I know. I see some features that they have that I have. So I know they either come from me or I come from them. But I think because I'm African and everybody came from Africa, I mean, I see that's how we look alike. You know, I can see some similarities, and I do like the way that they look. I think they are beautiful people. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't care for people like Cameron. Boo Boom say he thinks white women are the most beautiful people. You can think that. I think, you know, you're allowed to think, you know, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. You know, when I say that I think black women are the most beautiful women, I am not saying that other women are not beautiful. I am just, that's just how I see beauty, you know, that is how I see it. I honestly 100%. I have looked at all other women and I see Indian women, they are very, very beautiful. Like, wow, they got beautiful hair, they got beautiful eyes, you know, they are beautiful, you know. You see white women, you know, they have sometimes colors like green eyes, red hair, blonde hair, black hair. I seen it all. No, I have seen it all. I have seen all these types of women. You look at Brazilian women. Oh my gosh, they are beautiful. I just think above them all of them, black women are the most beautiful. Like, I see the figure 8 figures that the black women have. I see how curvy they are, how feminine they are, you know. I've seen black women the way they are with their children, the way they are soft and gentle and kind, the way they raise and nurture their kids. They do all these things, you know. The sacrifices that they have made even when they don't have money, you know. I look at them, I see their grace, I see their patience. I mean, I see so many things, and I have never seen a more beautiful woman. I am very aware that other people, you know, I'm very aware that if you're born white, you will see white people are beautiful, because we have a tendency to see people who look like us to be beautiful. We are just naturally biased that way, you know. So I am biased that way, maybe, but that's how I see, you know. So if you think like you're white and you see white people are more beautiful, it's just natural to see people who look like you to be more beautiful, because you've been wired like that for generations and your whole life, you know. You will tend to see people who look like you to be more beautiful than other people. That's just how I see it. Like, just, you know, so don't blame me. I like what I like. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Poverty is a very big subject. Poverty. Can you at least agree that some feminists attack men are not right? I can say some men are chauvinistic. I will have to see what examples you put up to say that feminists are attacking men, because most of the time that I see is men misunderstanding feminists, and then they say feminists are attacking them, when I see most of the time is the men that are misunderstanding feminists. So I'm not saying that there is no room that some people can go far and become, but I do think that a lot of it is coming from men having a problem with a woman being able to think. I think that's the biggest threat to patriarchy, and men feel threatened and they start attacking women because, you know, we have a saying in Kiswahili that mjinga akierevuka mwerevu yuko mashakani. That means that when the person who is seen as stupid wakes up, the person who thought was clever is in trouble, because you know why? Because now they know that they cannot take advantage of the stupid person anymore because they have woken up. So when you start telling all these men who are 60, 70-year old, but they cannot marry a girl who is 15 years old, they have a problem with that. They have a problem with that. They're like, why does she have to go to school, educate herself, and take care of herself? Why doesn't she just accept to be married to a 90-year-old man, and that's her life, and he will take care of her, and then he will die? You know, they do have a problem with stuff like that, that feminists keep calling out. Because why? I mean, if you're doing something wrong and somebody is calling you out, is a natural response to hate that person. When you're being selfish and somebody calls you out, is natural response for you to be angry at that person for calling you out. So I do get that men will put up a fight towards women who are feminists like me. I get it. I expect it. Yeah, but you would have to give me examples that women are doing it, and then I will say, in this example, I approve that. In this example, I approve that. But for you to come here and tell me to say a blanket statement like that, I will not do it. I will not do it. I will not say feminists are attacking men. I will not do it. You can give me an example, because I know feminists are not attacking men. Feminists are attacking behaviors that men do to exploit women, and men do not want that. And when men think they've been attacked by feminists calling a spade and not a big spoon, when they feel attacked, they start talking the way men do. They start attacking women, which I think it's an even lower blow. That they were low. We were calling them out for being low, and then they attack us. They even go lower. So whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. You are misinformed. Woman lives in Fanny, either sign up herself or performing. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about there. I'm African. Women who fought for my freedoms are actually the reason that I'm here and say smack and do whatever that I want. It's not men. It's not men. It's women. Women, it's women. It's women. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. It's women. It's women that fought for my rights. And before you go, look at those beautiful black women. Yes. Yeah, I celebrate the black female every day. It's a lot. Look at that. Just cuteness. Overload. Cuteness. Black girls are cute. Cuteness. They all look different and beautiful. So yeah, I love black women, their hairstyles, their smiles. I mean, there's one thing that I like about black people is their smiles. Just the brightness of a black person's smile is just, I don't know. When you have dark skin and then you have these pearl white teeth, the smile comes out different. Like, it's just radiant. I love it. I love it. Like, I think, first of all, Black people have the most beautiful smiles. Just those nice teeth and the backdrop of like that dark skin. Beautiful. You will not find that anywhere else. uh at leg breaker 5376, no, there's women who actually understand things. You're not one of them. You know, I'm not saying that I understand everything. I understand the things that I choose to understand. Yeah, I tell you, I understand the things that that I understand. It's your job to make me understand the things that you understand that I don't understand. But when you talk and call me names and you belittle me, I don't want to understand what you're talking about. So it's your job to be nice and communicate in a mature way. But again, you're being an immature man who never understands these kinds of things that women keep talking about. And so we are left here with me not understanding or caring to understand. Okay? Yeah, you call people dumb, those kinds of things. You call people dumb. Understand to me, you're dumb. Understand me, you're dumb. How about you just go learn how to communicate so that people can listen? Because from where you are, you have things to say that you're so pressed on saying that people don't understand you. Maybe we don't care to understand you because you don't care to communicate like a mature person. Have you ever thought about that? That is not my job to listen to you when you're being disrespectful, when you don't communicate, like when you communicate like you don't even have an 8th grade education. Is not our point. It's not our problem. We don't have to listen. You can't be a leader. That's why you cannot lead females like me. That is why you are not alpha. Ouch. Yes, exactly. You're not, I don't ever, part of maturing is 100% responsibility for yourself. That is why I don't let people make important decisions about my life. I take 100% responsibility for myself. When I see women say, "Oh, when you're married, is the man's decision to make 100% decisions for you." If I'm married, you're not making decisions for me. I'm still making decisions for myself. I don't get it. Like, so you're married, you suddenly don't have a brain? Is that what it is? Starchy DJ, you would like to communicate? Love, communicate. Jaru, are you mixed with salt because you sodium fine? Jeez. Uh, leg breaker, no misinformed, no misinformed. Get it right. Don't you do your straw man thing. Were you saying something I never said and then defend against it? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that is, you're talking to straw man. Okay, not me. Okay, restate what you had to say. Well, we can debate and have meaningful conversations. Like I I say I yeah. You say I have no room to come in to speak about education. Education is really your behavior. If your education does not impact your behavior, you're uneducated. I don't care how much you learn about nutrition, if you're still eating burgers and chips and fries, that would show an education. That would show that if I told you like I love nutrition, I learn about nutrition, and I don't change my habit, would you say I'm really educated about nutrition and health if I am not changing my habits? So it all comes down to behavior. That's it. Education is behavior. For me, that's why I live it. I don't care how many books you've read. I just want to see if your behavior has changed and reflected in that behavior. That's the room I have for education. If your behavior hasn't changed, you're not educated. Period. Well, it's not working, so love you. I gotta end it and continue with it.